Good morning, Madam President and colleagues. Today's a great day because today is Happy River Day. And you know, I am joined today by so many of the river champions, from Friends of the Los Angeles River, the Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority, LA River Works, Heal the Bay, and many, many more, who are all here to celebrate our one and only Los Angeles River. Yeah! And you know, this is my first year taking over as chair of the committee that has rivers, arts, parks, and rivers. And you know, I have to our office is going to think of something creative because, you know, I really thank Councilman O'Farrell in the past for doing this every year and having that amazing video. So no video this year, next time, but we'll think of something. But the Los Angeles River is our origin story. It's what gave life to the Tongva people who settled on its shores. It provided food and shelter for the early Mexican explorers, and it was the first water source for a fledgling city. The Los Angeles River is the force that shaped our city. And its 51 miles, which flows from the valley to the ocean, connects us to our natural and cultural history. That history was almost lost when the river was encased in concrete and became just another industrial fixture in our growing urban environment. I didn't know the story of our river until when I was growing up in the 1980s. I didn't know how important it was in shaping our city, nor the creatures or habitats that relied off its existence. Little did I know that at the same time, a group of intrepid volunteers led by Lewis McAdams braved rough conditions and even risked arrest to imagine a new future for our Los Angeles River and bringing our city back to its natural roots. Today, we are engaged a generation of river champions and are celebrating the 30 years of the great Los Angeles River cleanup. Together, we have put forth bold new futures for our Los Angeles River, including new access points to the river and to Griffith Park, restoration work to revitalize our long-neglected habitats, and at long last, over $18 million in state funding that will finally make one continuous bike path along the Los Angeles River a reality. The city has committed its focus, its energy, and its resources to restoring and revitalizing our Los Angeles River. It is something I am proud to fight for as chair of the Committee on the Rivers, and I am so grateful to allies like Mayor Eric Garcetti and our Councilmember Mitchell O'Farrell, our previous chair, who have done so much to bring our river back. But let us not forget where it all started. This effort did not begin with City Hall, but among activists, nonprofits, and visionaries like those at the Friends of the Los Angeles River, the MRCA, and so many others that are here today. This work will only continue with their leadership and with the involvement of everyday Angelenos. So I invite everyone to get to know our river, not just during the great LA River cleanup, but every day. Here to tell us about how we can all get involved is Marissa Christensen, the Executive Director of the Friends of the LA River. But before she comes up, I want to play a short video of the work of FoLAR that is doing for our river.
Thank you so much for being here at the 30th Annual Great LA River Cleanup.
The river is a historic river. This is why the city of Los Angeles was founded where it was. And it was a wild southwestern riparian river. So it's a very unique ecosystem. For 30 years, we've been mobilizing over 70,000 people to remove over 400 tons of trash from this impaired yet beautiful waterway. These volunteers are here on our kickoff weekend at the Sepulveda Basin to improve our community, improve our environment. If you are looking for a way to make tangible, visible, and immediate impact in your community, this is it. Every piece of trash that you pick up is a piece of trash that doesn't end up in our Pacific Ocean. We need all of the volunteers to get involved with us at FoLAR.org and help us advocate for the river that's going to actually be for all Angelenos and wildlife alike. Thank you very much. My name is Marissa Christensen. I'm the Executive Director of Friends of the Los Angeles River. Thank you to Councilmember Ryu for hosting the 6th annual LA River Day here at City Hall. It's occasions like this that we remember how far the river has come in gaining its rightful stature as a fixture in Los Angeles's environmental legacy. For 30 years, FoLAR has been at the helm of the river movement, fighting many times alongside each of you for an equitably accessible and ecologically restored Los Angeles River. This city's river was once a place where the communities who lived alongside it gathered and was the bedrock of ecological health and diversity in this city. We believe this can be so again. The best future for this river is one that is stewarded collectively, and it's with that in mind that we mobilize thousands of volunteers in our cleanup every year and introduce thousands of school children to the river every year, in hopes that these volunteers, these students, go forward into their lives and become river stewards in their communities. As you saw, we celebrated our 30th annual cleanup this year. It's now the largest river cleanup in the country, and we hosted 6,000 volunteers. And now we plan to call on those volunteers again to advocate with us as we launch our Crack the Concrete campaign, aimed at 2 projects in a very unique stretch in this river. I'll wrap up, I promise. Taylor Yard's G2 River Park and the Casitas Lofts. One of these projects supports our long shared vision for the river. One of them threatens it. It's this stretch of river that has the potential to be 100 acres of continuous open space. It's entirely unique, and it's our only opportunity that we have right now to heal environmental and cultural scars in this city. And that is why we support a vision for Taylor Yards that actually accomplishes the habitat restoration and concrete removal on this section of the river, long promised at this site, and why we are opposing Casitas Lofts, a 420-unit, mostly market-rate housing development sandwiched between the 2 freeway and the future Bowtie State Park. This is our biggest opportunity to meaningfully repair our environment and invest in a future river that is a resource for all Angelenos and wildlife. It's taken us 30 years to get to this moment. Let's get it right. And with that, I thank you for the time, for your leadership, for your stewardship, and we look forward to advocating with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Marissa. Next up from the LA River Works, in the office of Mayor Eric Garcetti, is Michael Affelt, Director of LA River Works. Michael?
Thank you, Councilmember Ryu, Councilmember O'Farrell, for your leadership over the years. The great River 8, all 8 districts that have a piece of the river running through them, and the entire City Council. On behalf of Mayor Eric Garcetti's office, my boss, Deputy Mayor Barbara Romero, I am thrilled to be here to celebrate another fantastic year of LA River accomplishments. The stakeholders here, the committed NGOs, the excellent professionals and design firms that are involved, their work every day has advanced us to where we are now. And we've had a lot to celebrate this last year. We had the opening of Albion Riverside Park in Lincoln Heights, the groundbreaking for the Red Car Pedestrian Bridge in Councilmember O'Farrell's district, a lot of success with state funding, the $18 million that Councilmember Ryu mentioned to help build a piece of the LA Riverway path, another substantial award to bring active transportation crossings near the Verdugo Wash. We've just broke ground on the Taylor Yard Bridge to connect Cypress Park to Elysian Valley, and just last week, the EPA awarded $500,000 to help clean up a Taylor Yard G2. It's been a really amazing year. And again, thanks to the work of the dedicated folks behind me and your dedicated work. Next up for this year, planning on the upper tributaries that deserve the attention that the rest of the river has deserved. The first public use of Taylor Yard G2 is on the horizon. We're exploring new partnerships to make sure that we are being efficient and smart and coordinated as we build out these projects. And we are making progress on new pieces of the LA Riverway path, including a groundbreaking on the horizon in Canoga Park and advanced design work to bridge the 8 miles of path through downtown LA led by Metro. So again, thank you so much for having me. On behalf of Mayor Garcetti, my boss, Deputy Mayor Barbara Romero, and the LA River Works team, Edward and Stacy, thank you, Councilmember Ryu, for having me. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Michael. Next up is an organization that is near to my heart, not just for what they do with the river, but for the mountains, our wildlife corridors, and our precious open space, and that's the Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority, And from the MRCA, I'd like to invite up Chief Ranger Fernando Gomez. Fernando?
Good morning, everyone. Fernando Gomez, the Chief Ranger for Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority. I've actually had the pleasure of, starting with this program back when it was just a thought, a pilot program, when we thought, how can we actually do something with the river? And someone had a vision, and Ed Reyes had that vision, along with Tom, who's here, who, they had the vision, and it's actually sprung from there. 8 years later, with the leadership of Councilmember O'Farrell, and moving forward, this recreation has grown now to 2 different zones. It's brought thousands and thousands of people who otherwise would not have actually viewed the Los Angeles River to the potential that it has. And it's our job now is to continue this progress, this work forward into allowing others who actually see the rivers just as a channel. But if you actually ever get the opportunity to kayak, and I invite you to, just reach out. We would love to be able to do this for you and bring you out to see what the river actually has to offer, the life that this river has, the things the opportunities that are actually out there for us to enjoy, to us to actually have a gym, a recreation in our backyards is enormous. And I think that the leadership from now, Councilmember Rue's office, who's going to be taking lead on this, we'll be enjoying that new leadership and that new partnership. But again, we could not have do this with all the different departments. LA Sanitation, who's been a great partnership with us and has actually supported us throughout this, Department of Water and Power, and now Bureau of Engineers as well. So Army Corps of Engineers, again, they see this vision, they see this value, and again, us at the MRCA, the Conservancy, over 20 years of working on the LA River has actually given us this opportunity to just start expanding and opening new recreation areas. So I invite you all to come out whenever you have an opportunity. We would love to be able to, make this opportunity, a reality for your team and for any nonprofit organization that you may be working with that can benefit from this. So thank you all very much for your leadership and your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Gomez. Now, before we present this proclamation and commendation for the LA 6th Annual River Day, we have a surprise guest, and I'd like to take the privy to bring him up, and that's Councilmember Tom LaBonge, because seeing, Madam President, we only have one presentation today. Love to hear from the council member.
Get up here, too. Get up here, too. Get up here, mayors, man. Madam President, members of the great Los Angeles City Council, we have a great opportunity because of the blessings of these people. And Mitchell Farrell, 2 bridges, not 1, but 2 bridges are being built. I know, but I'm giving you 2, and I'm giving David 1.5. And Mike Bonin, you'll get up there too, because we start up in Griffith Park and go in where Batman came out of that cave to Bayona Creek. I think of Dorothy Green. I think of Mayor Tom Bradley. The first meeting, Paul Kokorian was at Chatsworth High in 1988. The first meeting we had was in Mayor Bradley's office. So all this is coming together. Everybody's doing a great job. Mr. Weezar, the Great Bridges. We're working on a duck tour above ground, but when we cover the Great Bridges was as part of the City Beautiful movement in 1926 when they started. And Gilbert, the great man from Roosevelt High, Gilbert Cedillo, you're putting it together with the bridge in Elysian Valley where Annette Cardona lived, who played Cha-Cha Di Gregorio in Greece. It's all connected, folks. It's good to see you. It's been 4.5 years since I've seen a microphone, and it's good to see one today. Love you all, love the river, and love David Rue for doing what he's doing and partnering with Mitchell Farrell, passing the baton to Bob Bloomfield, the great work. And Nura, you got the best because you got the Sepulveda Basin. So I'll walk back and exit and say good day, everyone.
Nice to see you, Tom.
We love Tom.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, Tom. And with that, I'd like to present this commendation celebrating our rivers past, present, and future.
Mr.
Oh, was there
Rue,
someone on speaker?
We
I'm
have
sorry about that.
our member,
Oh.
Mr. O'Farrell, would like to say a few words.
How could I not say something? So, Tom LaBonge, I'm claiming 4 new bridges across the Los Angeles River, connecting the 4th District, the 13th District, the 1st District, across the LA River, all while we're in office, including funding for the bridge that connects the city of Glendale to the city of Los Angeles in North Atwater Village over the Verdugo Wash. And we're doing this because we're building upon 30 years of the wonderful organization that is FoLAR. Lewis McAdams always talked about connectivity. Ed Reyes talked about connectivity. about the neighborhoods that have been neglected. You know, the Los Angeles River is, in a way, our spiritual guide, and it connects 8 council districts in a way that, you know, in a way we have a River Caucus with the 8 council districts, because this is where it all began. And as we reclaim, as we improve the habitat, as we start, I think, the renovations, and we take better care, we're better stewards of the river, and we start investing real resources in restoring the habitat and building the infrastructure. We are fulfilling the vision of FoLAR from those 30 years ago. I want to thank Fernando. You're amazing. Thank you so much for all of your advocacy over the years. I know that you'll continue that. Michael, well said for the River Works. Wonderful. Marissa, you're an amazing executive director, and we're so happy you're there. And all of the volunteers and the staff for the organizations that are stewards of the river. Now, we are about to move forward with that enhanced infrastructure financing district to help accomplish and further the goals that we all have. And that really is what it's all about moving forward. So how do we synthesize all of this great history, all of the incredible thought and activism over the years, into bringing the river to the next level, start removing and remediating the brownfields, establish the habitat in such a way that someday the steelhead trout will come back. We should always remember that as our vision and our goal when we approach improvements to the LA River. Mr. Rue, thank you so much for carrying this forward. I think we're going to do wonderful things with your leadership in this committee now. I just can't say enough about the Los Angeles River, where it all started, and 10,000 years ago, where the Tongva really established their roots. So there's a very strong spiritual component to this. We have an obligation to our ancestors to bring it back fully. So thank you so much, and God bless the Los Angeles River. Thank you.
That concludes the speakers on the queue, Mr. Rue.
Thank you, Madam President. So I'd like to present this commendation to celebrate our 6th annual River Day to everyone here who's made today possible. Thank you so very much, and thank you, colleagues.
Sherry, one more, right here. Hold it up real high. Hold it up real high, real high, real high. Above your head. There we go, team. Everybody put their hand on it. Here we go. The river.